Meet Shion and Loann Kaji, the masterminds behind Ryan's World, who turned a 3-year-old into a walking ATM and are now watching their empire crumble faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. Honestly, it's about time. Before we dive in, you might want to take a second to subscribe, because we've got a whole series about this situation coming your way. Let's go back to 2015. Shion and Loann saw their toddler opening toys and thought, This is entertainment gold. Fast forward a few years, and Ryan is pulling in over $20 million a year. Not bad for a kid who can barely tie his own shoes. Meanwhile, his parents quit their jobs. Loann, the chemistry teacher, Shion, the engineer, to become full-time child content moguls. They hired a 30-person production team, incorporated Sunlight Entertainment, and turned their house into a content factory with Ryan as the unwilling CEO. Bathroom breaks, negotiations, forget it. By 2019, Ryan's face was everywhere. Walmart toys, Colgate toothpaste, his own Macy's parade, balloon as Red Titan, you name it. The kid was literally carrying a billion-dollar brand on shoulders that were still growing. People were side-eyeing this empire harder than a sketchy TikTok trend. And then came the FTC, because apparently turning your living room into a 24/7 advertisement counts as raising eyebrows. Consumer advocates accuse the Kajis of deceiving millions of kids. Shockingly, preschoolers can't tell the difference between Ryan loves this toy and Ryan is getting paid to love this toy. So the Kajis rebranded from Ryan's Toys Review to Ryan's World, basically putting lipstick on a pig. Sponsored content kept rolling because ethics, unfortunately, don't pay the bills. Ryan's workload was insane. 25 segments a week across multiple channels. 25! That's more content than most adult YouTubers produce in months. Family vlogs, science experiments, daily routines. He couldn't even brush his teeth without it becoming content. And all the money legally belonged to mommy and daddy. While Ryan was the family breadwinner, his parents were holding the bread, the butter, and probably the entire grocery store. Fast forward to today, the Kaji empire is collapsing. Once pulling in over 1 billion views per video, new uploads struggle to hit 100,000. That's a 70% freefall with no parachute. Why? Ryan grew up, his audience grew up, and toddlers aren't interested in watching a teenager pretend toys are still magical. Meanwhile, the algorithm changed after the COPPA crackdown, and channels featuring kids no longer got VIP treatment. Loann herself admitted they lost 70% of their income practically overnight. That's not a pay cut, it's financial amputation. Then there was the movie Ryan's World, Titan Universe Adventure. $10 million budget, $624,000 box office. That's right. The cinematic masterpiece flopped so hard theaters echoed with regret. Indie films nobody had heard of outgrossed it. And if that wasn't enough, as Ryan started showing burnout, appearing tired, reluctant, and speaking in flat tones like he'd rather be anywhere else, the Kajis shifted the spotlight to his twin sisters, Emma and Kate. 7 years old. New animation series. More exploitation. Internet reaction? Absolute disgust. Comments flooded in, and now they're using his baby sisters? Public opinion shifted fast. Laws started catching up. Multiple states now require parents to set aside earnings for kids, basically admitting the Kaji model was exploitation all along. Interviews reinforced it. Ryan looked uncomfortable, barely spoke, and his parents dominated the conversation. People are literally counting down the years until he turns 18 and can tell the real story. Let's not forget the numbers. Ryan was filming 25 segments weekly, often appearing in multiple videos per day. Every moment of his life was monetized. Family vlogs, science experiments, daily routines. The kid couldn't take a single step without it becoming a product. And yet, legally, all the money went straight to his parents' pockets. Talk about a masterclass in parental ROI. And then the empire started to falter. Ryan's World, once the crown jewel of YouTube kids content, began to experience a freefall. Videos that once racked up millions of views now barely scraped 100K. That's a 70% decline, a freefall with no safety net. Why? Ryan aged, his audience aged, and the content didn't evolve. 5-year-olds who once adored him were now preteens, rolling their eyes at videos that felt like a sibling performing magic tricks. New toddlers? Not interested in watching a teenager fake excitement over toys. The decline was as inevitable as gravity. Meanwhile, the Kaji parents kept trying to milk the empire. Old footage of younger Ryan recycled endlessly. The twins pushed into the spotlight harder than a Black Friday sale. It's like watching someone finish draining one well and immediately start digging another. But karma? Karma doesn't forget addresses. By 2029 or 2030, when Ryan turns 18 and the twins 12, this whole operation built on greed will finally collapse under its own weight. And honestly, good. The movie? Don't get me started. Titan Universe Adventure, a $10 million budget, $624,000 gross. Theaters emptier than a Logan Paul apology. The loss practically guaranteed the collapse of the Kaji Empire. And the timing couldn't have been more poetic. As Ryan started showing signs of fatigue, his parents pivoted, putting the twins center stage. Internet reaction? Brutal. Public opinion? Shifted. And now, laws are finally catching up to protect kids from being exploited for views. Ryan's world was an empire built on a child's back, and now karma is running the board. Sure, they still have money, mansions, product lines, but the golden goose? Cooked. Their reputation? Toast. Legacy? Parents who monetized their children's innocence. The gravy train has derailed, and it couldn't have happened to more deserving people. So here's to Ryan Kaji. May he finally get the normal teenage years he deserves. And here's to his parents. May they enjoy watching their empire crumble from the mansion their son's childhood bought them. Sometimes the best revenge isn't action, it's letting karma do her work. And in this case, she's working overtime. And let's not forget the chaos behind the scenes. While Ryan smiled for the camera, his parents were running a full-blown production studio from their living room, juggling contracts, sponsorships, and merchandising deals like circus performers on a unicycle. Every birthday, every morning routine, every awkward science experiment became a potential payday. Meanwhile, Ryan was still a kid learning multiplication, trying to make friends, and somehow expected to deliver Emmy-worthy reactions to toys on demand. And when things started to crumble, it wasn't just the views that dropped, it was the credibility of the entire brand. Fans noticed the exhaustion, the forced smiles, and the recycled footage, while critics piled on with comparisons to stage parents in Hollywood, except worse, because this was happening in full public view. The Kaji family's empire was no longer a symbol of clever marketing. It had become a cautionary tale of greed, overexposure, and the cost of turning childhood into content.